Chapter 4 Pharaoh Hatshepsut, the most powerful female pharaoh. I bring wrath to those who disrespect me like a dame. Queen Latifah. Our voyage through time and space in search of our glorious past now takes us back to the land of Kemet. During the 18th dynasty under the reign of Thutmose I of the 18th dynasty of Kemet. Thutmose I, a pharaoh of ancient Egypt, ascended to the throne around 1506 BCE. Known for his military prowess, he expanded Egypt's borders through strategic campaigns. One notable conquest was in Nubia, where Thutmose led his army to secure control over valuable resources. In a decisive battle, Thutmose displayed exceptional leadership, employing innovative tactics that secured victory. His military brilliance earned him the loyalty of his troops, establishing a reputation as a formidable ruler. As Thutmose I continued his military campaigns, he also implemented domestic reforms, strengthening Kemet's infrastructure and economy. His reign laid the foundation for the powerful New Kingdom era, leaving a lasting legacy as a skilled military strategist and visionary leader. Our focus will now fall on the daughter of Pharaoh Thutmose I, Hatshepsut. She became Queen of Egypt when she married her half-brother, Thutmose II. It is assumed she was 12 years old at the time. Unfortunately, he passed away, and upon his death, she began acting as regent for her stepson, the infant Thutmose III. Hatshepsut later took on the full powers of a pharaoh, becoming co-ruler of Kemet around 1479 BC. As pharaoh, Hatshepsut expanded Kemetic trade and oversaw magnificent building projects, most notably the Temple of Deir el-Bahari, located in western Thebes. The early years she spent as regent, Hatshepsut acted less like a temporary overseer and more like the rightful ruler. She soon referred to herself as Lady of the Two Lands. Thutmose III, at the time, was nearing maturity, meaning he would officially assume the throne very soon. Wisely calculating her next few steps, Hatshepsut made a daring power play. She declared herself pharaoh, adopting the titles and emblems associated with the position. She even claimed the god Ammonius as her father and insisted that he meant for her to take charge of Egypt. To fully convey her takeover, she had herself portrayed in pictures and sculptures as a man, with a male body and a false beard. This, at first glance, would seem strange, but all of her male predecessors did the same with their depictions of themselves, placing fake beards and exaggerated bodies. She also did this in her everyday life, and her servants would refer to her as Sir. Her goal was to set firmly in the minds of everyone that she was the only rightful pharaoh of the land. Hatshepsut was a very revolutionary character even for the time she was living in. In the end, she was buried at the Temple of Deir el-Bahari, dressed as a male pharaoh. Her brilliance and bravado blazed a path that would allow her to go down as one of the most famous female pharaohs of Kemet. As a society, Kemet was very conservative and would have naturally favored Thutmose III over Hatshepsut, but most of the high officials in court supported the ambitious young lady and her vision. Some viewed her actions as a blatant power grab and labeled her a usurper. An argument can be made that the steps she took were to assure the public that an official pharaoh was on the throne, guiding the country. These drastic steps were moves made to ward off any other challengers to both her and Thutmose III's claim to power. Hatshepsut did not banish Thutmose III, who technically served as her co-ruler, but she clearly overshadowed him. Her 21-year reign as principal monarch was a time of peace and prosperity for Egypt. Hatshepsut's reign was filled with many major accomplishments, such as her repurposing of the army. Her father, Thutmose I, was a great conqueror and a very charismatic leader who led his army into the field bravely. At the beginning of her reign, she consolidated and solidified her power by waging war to the south with Nubia, the Kingdom of Kush. This short military exercise was very successful as it was depicted on the tomb of Senenmut, treasurer to the Great Woman. Once her borders were safe and protected, she committed the army to the cause of undertaking a grand trade expedition. The ultimate destination for the army was the legendary land of Punt, along the southern shore of the Red Sea. The goal was to re-establish trading routes that had eroded over the past 500 years. The walls of Hatshepsut's mortuary temple show how much of a success the expedition was, and they returned laden with gold, ivory, livestock, myrrh trees, and a mixture of exotic animals, including giraffes, apes, and panthers. She undertook grand building projects, including 2 pairs of impressive obelisks at the Temple of Karnak complex and at her mortuary temple, Djeser-Djeseru. Upon Hatshepsut's death in 1458 BC, Thutmose III was now able to take the throne for himself. Hatshepsut's groundbreaking reign remained a secret for centuries. As the greatest act of revenge, Thutmose III moved to erase Hatshepsut from history by defacing her monuments and removing her name from the list of kings. Over time, archaeologists began deciphering the hieroglyphics at Deir el-Bahri in 1822 and later found her tomb in 1903. Hatshepsut's legacy as Egypt's powerful female pharaoh was restored to her proper place in history. The hate of her enemy could not bury her greatness forever.